I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans, poor little bro, man. And I'm gonna tell him where I'm at. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset.
What can you tell us about how your recruitment with Michigan specifically? Like, when did they approach you? How did the offer come in? What kind of interactions have you had with the coaching staff or other players?
Yeah, I mean, it was last spring ball. I think I've been talking to Coach Newsome, like maybe a phone call like a couple of weeks before practice. He came, and then he showed. I think it was one of the things I had like no idea he showed up, and he was there. And then right after that, after my practice, he called me. He's like, "Hey, dude, like we think you have it, and we want you to be offered and everything." And it was crazy. And then last summer came up. We went to that barbecue at Michigan, and to be honest, like I was offered, but I still couldn't see myself leaving the state of Texas or like the South, going that far. But it was me and my dad that went up there. My dad was like, "Man, let's go up there and show why you don't want to leave Texas and leave and go all this far." And it totally backfired. And now I love Michigan, and And I mean, I talked to Coach Newsome last week on Thursday, and just especially him, that distance being far, we got to stay in touch every week and call and keep building that relationship to the end. But I mean, went to a game last year. Great experience. I mean, 110,000 people. It's been good.
What was that? The Texas game?
No, it was. Who was it? It was at home.
All right.
It was not Texas.
Well, it probably didn't matter last year anyway. But
you said it kind of backfired on you, and that you love Michigan. What impressed you? What made you feel at home, or feel that what made it backfire? What about Ann Arbor or the university?
It was the whole, like, just the team and the just what Michigan was, and like when you walk to the Michigan, like in the building, like you just feel like they had core values in there. Like I like A&M a lot because of their core values and who they stand for. I mean, they're 3 hours away from me, and I feel the same way about Michigan. I would say me and going on these official visits, these visits. You sit down with these head coaches, and a lot of them you seem like they're on schedules, and they're like, "All right, we have 10 minutes left." Coach Moore was not like that. He was like, "Dude, just let's sit down and talk about life and football. We don't have a schedule, just talk." And it felt very real and just very honest. And I mean, he came back down this last month to talk with my family, and it's been good. So yeah.
Absolutely. Before I get to my next question, we got a question from the chat. Friend of the channel, West Quad, who was a former walk-on at Michigan himself. He says, question, Zaden, what area in Texas plays the best ball?
I would say probably Dallas, where I'm at, Prosper. Okay. I mean, we just talked about that. Yeah. I'd say
no doubt. And before we move on, shout out to Jose Mirales. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't want to butcher this. But he just became a member. You should become a member if you haven't already. Speaking to everyone else in the chat. All right. So Zaden, we touched on, Texas football as a whole, things like that. Now let's talk about like the work you put in individually. This is one of the things that was most impressive to me, as we are joined by my guy, everybody's guy, the one and only,
the Maniac.
He is also a co-host here.
Eminem Mondays. How you doing, champ?
I'm good. How are you?
Absolutely. So, one of the things that I want to know is like the work you put in, which is super impressive to me. I just been watching since we got the word that you were coming on. I went and dove in, and it just seems like it's work all the time for you. How do you go about that? How do you section off your time, and what time do you have for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I remember I think I was 10 or 11 years old, and I wanted to start making money and stuff. And it was that summer, Texas, it's hot down here in the summertime. I was like, man, maybe you start mowing yards. And I started mowing yards over the years, and I made a business called CK Lawn Care, Zaden Krempin.
Nice.
Yeah, that taught me a lot of time management. And sometimes I wanted to go hang out with my friends, but I knew I had 6 yards to cut in the day, and I had to go get that done. And it just should translate into a lot of different things, working out and my diet. I mean, I think I keep care of my body, and I know I want to have a good body for the long term in football if I want to go that far. And I think the way I'm lighter because I eat very healthy and clean, a lot of meat and stuff, and I care what I do to my body. I do core work every night, a lot of ankle mobility stuff. Coach Newsome and I talk about that a lot. Line coaches, they like all that nerdy stuff, which is awesome. But I would say that mowing yards in the past has done a lot for me because it taught me a lot of just hard work and what it means. And I think my mom and dad taught me just it's not going to be given to you. You got to work for it, and there's no shortcuts. So yeah, I would say all that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, and that's a great point, right? That blue collar mentality where, like you said, from young, you was mowing lawns, busting your butt from young. So that alone tells me that you're not gonna have a problem coming into Michigan and competing. As you can see, Sharon Moore and Newsome has done a great job in recruiting linemen, and they're not gonna stop. So the competition is gonna be elite. So I know that's something you won't have a problem competing with, your fellow teammates.
Yep.
So I know earlier you were talking about how like the family atmosphere, the culture at Michigan really impressed you, and that's something we take a lot of pride in as fans of Michigan, and that we like to brag about the culture at the University of Michigan. But what else besides that is important to you when you're talking to these coaches, when you're taking the visits? What are you looking for in a school, in a home for the next 3 to 4 years, in a team? What are you looking for? What stands out to you from your recruitment?
Yeah, no, definitely. I would say just a place where I could be developed, and I know, like I'm wanted there, and I've noticed that it's bigger in football. Like I want to go to college where if I didn't play football, I would still go to that college and I would still love being there. The Michigan strength program, we were very impressed because it was that barbecue. We got to do like a little like one-on-one session with Coach Newsome and work out there, and the strength program and everything. And that was awesome. Very impressed. I mean, they're up there with A&M for me. Coach Moffitt, A&M. And I mean, yeah, I would say just the develop part and feeling wanted there, and knowing there's competition behind me, in front of me. And I know that like wherever I want to go, I want to start early, but I know there's guys in front of me, but also that makes them better because they know they have guys behind them that right. want to be in their spot. That makes the team. That makes the best guys play, and especially at O-line. You got to have the best 5 dudes that work together. So, yeah.
True words have never been spoken, man. When making this ultimate decision, this is like the biggest decision for a lot of kids your age that they've made to this point, right? In life. What are things like Joe Moore Award winning and national championships, conference championship? Do these things like matter and stack up as well in that process and in the ultimate decision making?
Oh, well, of course they do. I mean, I want to go somewhere where I can win and have a good experience and not lose,
Of course. Yeah.
Even with the Joe Moore Award, I mean, that just shows that Coach Moore and Coach Deuce, I mean, the head coach was the O-line coach. That shows that he cares about the O-line and
he played O-line.
He played O-line. He played with Trent Williams, he told me. And it just shows that they care about the O-line. And I remember Coach Moore telling me, he's like, when we want to run the ball, we're going to run the ball. And when we want to pass, we'll do whatever we want with our O-line. And they told me that it starts up front, and we want to have the best dudes up front. So.
Of course. Maniac?
Yeah. Do you have any issue if they want to switch you around in the O-line and they say, listen, we need you here? That's not an issue for you, correct?
No, yes, sir. I mean, I think I could play anywhere. I just like whatever the team needs me. I mean, I've been recruited as a tackle everywhere from our 52 offers, and yeah, I mean, I'm versatile. So
That's great to hear. I mean, that's what we love at Michigan, because a lot of times we're looking for the 5 best offensive linemen, and we want to put those guys out there and gel together. Anywhere on the line. That versatility is a big calling card for Michigan over the years. So I'm really happy to hear that part. So you mentioned, I know you mentioned Trent Williams. What are some of the players since you got into playing football that you've kind of looked up at and watched their game, tried to take pieces of their game, style your game after? Who do you try to emulate or kind of look to for pointers?
Yeah, I mean, I started training with LPA, Lineman's Performance Academy, and 3 years ago, I've been going there every Sunday 3 years ago, and with my dad, and they just train a line and everything. Excuse me, but yeah, a guy named Clint Anderson and Coach Rob, that's who I've been training every Sunday with, and it's funny. Clint Anderson, he trained Lane Johnson, or they lived together for about 2 years, and
wow.
So Lane's been in my house. He's been in my weight room and everything, and it's cool meeting him and everything. He's been in my room and seen my.
Is he kind of like a mentor for you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.